Hello friends, I am Dr. Lakra, Assistant Professor in the Department of Agricultural Economics, Ranchi Agriculture College, Visa Agriculture University. Today I am going to start first lecture of BSc AG second semester course Fundamentals of Agricultural Economics. In this lecture, contents are meaning, scope and subject matter of economics, definitions of economics, methods of economic investigation, positive and normative economics analysis, economic theory, concept of equilibrium and economic laws. Then come to meaning of economics. Economics is originate from Greek word economikos, which is further divided into two parts, eikos and nomos. Eikos means household and nomos means management. Therefore, economics is household management. Head of the family faces the problems to managing the unlimited wants of the family members with limited income. He allocates his income, limited income, among the different wants like fooding, education, medicine, and social functions sector. Wants are fulfilled on priority basis. It is same for the society also, where all the members of the society are considered as a family. Then come to scope of economics. Scope of economics entails the identifications of basic economic problems and find out the different ways to solve these problems. If problem is identified, there is a scope to solve this problem. In case of production, problems are what to produce, how to produce, and how much to produce. And in case of selling, problems are when to sell, where to sell, and how much to sell. But the main economic problems faced by every societies are unlimited human wants. Second is limited availability of resources to satisfy those wants. And third, fulfillment of limited wants with limited resources. Every society faces the unlimited wants. If one want is satisfied, others appear soon. If the basic needs are fulfilled like food, clothes and shelter, secondary wants arise soon. Secondary wants may be need of mobiles, cars, AC, well-furnished bungalow, etc. There is a problem to fulfill all the wants. In this case, here problem arises of selection or choice. It implies that every society has to arrange its requirement in order to priority. The next, subject matter of economics. Subject matter of economics studied under two approaches. First, traditional approach, and second is modern approach. In traditional approach, it is classified into four divisions. First, consumption, second, production, third, exchange, and then fourth, distribution. Now comes to consumption. Consumption means use of wealth to satisfy human want. Or we can say that consumption means destruction of utility. Utility means a power of good to satisfy human want. The term utility will be discussed on next lecture. Then all the consumer goods are consumed immediately or sometimes in future. Consumption of good doesn't mean eating only, like eating foods, having tea and coffee, drinking water, but also use of goods like use of table, use of car, use of AC, wearing clothes, etc. Through the consumption activity, we use the utilities. Hence, consumption represents using up of utilities. Then come to production. Production is an activity which helps to create utility. Hence, the productions is defined as the creation of utility. In the production function, production activity, one set of goods are transformed into others, or we can say that all the inputs or resources are transformed into output. In the economic sense, creation of utility is not treated as production, but it should have value too. Now come to exchange. Exchange of goods implies transfer of good from one person to another. Exchange of good takes place among individuals, markets, regions, countries, and so on. Through the exchange activity, it increases the welfare of the individuals through creation of higher utilities for goods and services. अगर किसी के पास वीट का प्रोडक्शन बहुत ज़्यादा है, ठीक है, और उसके पास मनी नहीं है, और जिसके पास मनी है और उसके पास वीट नहीं है, तो जिसके पास वीट का जो प्रोडक्शन ज़्यादा जिसके पास है, तो वीट की यूटिलिटी उसके लिए कम होगी एज कंपेयर टू जिसके पास नहीं होगा. तो जो एक्सचेंज करते हैं हम वीट को, तो वीट की यूटिलिटी बढ़ जाती है. देन कम टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. इट रिफर्स टू द शेयरिंग ऑफ वेल्थ प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय द कम्युनिटी among the agents of productions. Agents of productions refers to those who are involved in the production process. It may be landlord, laborers, resource owners, institutions like banking who provide loan to the farmers or landlord. Proper distribution of wealth and resources leads to growth and economic welfare of the people in the nation. Then come to modern approach, which are further studied under two divisions, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics, the term originates from Greek words micros, means small or millionth part. It is otherwise called as price theory. Macroeconomics deals with the economic behavior of individual economic unit such as consumers, business firm, resource owners, etc. Macroeconomics is considered as the flow of goods from business firm to consumer and flow of resources or their services from resource owners to business firm. It covers the theory of values, theory of economic welfare, theory of distribution, etc. Now come to macroeconomics. The term macroeconomics originates from Greek word macros, means large. Macroeconomics deals with the economic behavior as a whole, not treated as individual economic unit. It considered as the flow of value of flow of overall goods and services. It covers the theory of income and employment, theory of money and prices, banking, theory of policy formulation and analysis, etc. Then definitions of economics. The first is wealth definitions of economics. It is given by Adam Smith. He wrote the book Wealth of Nations in year 1776. In his book, he defined economics as an inquiry into the nature and causes of the wealth of nations. Means जो कंट्री के पास जितना वेल्थ होगा वो उतना रिच होगा. Adam Smith considered wealth is the primary thing and mankind is secondary. So that his definition is criticized, but some are supported. Adam Smith is known as father of economics or father of classical economics. Then came welfare definition of economics. Welfare definition of economics is given by Alfred Marshall. He wrote the book Principles of Economics. In this book, he defined economics as the study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. It examines that part of individuals and social action which is most closely connected with the attainment and with the use of material requisites of well-being. Means with resources which are available should be welfare of the people. So it is called welfare definition. After that, scarcity definition of economics is came. It is given by Lionel Robbins. In his publications, Nature and Significance of Economic Science, he defined economics as economics is the science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. Here, ends means want and means represent the resources. Means there are unlimited want of human and limited resources are available. So the limited resources could be used in different ways to satisfy the unlimited wants. अगर रिसोर्सेस मेरा है और मैं जो लिमिटेड है और जो मेरा वांट है अनलिमिटेड है, तो हम रिसोर्सेस अनलिमिटेड वांट को कैसे सेटिस्फाई करेंगे? जो मेरा वांट है, ठीक है, वो हम रिसोर्सेस को उसे डिफरेंट पर्पस से यूज कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, कोई एक रिसोर्सेस है, मेरा वांट है, डिफरेंट वांट है, तो हम जो वांट है इसको अलग अलग तरीके से हम उसको रिसोर्सेस से फुलफिल कर सकते हैं. देन केम growth definitions of economics. Growth definitions of economics, it is given by two economics. First is John Maynard Keynes and second is Samuelson. According to John Maynard Keynes, economics is the study of administration of scarce resources and of the determinants of employment and income. Means जो मेरा रिसोर्सेस है, ठीक है, हम उसको किस तरह से यूज करें कि उससे हमको इनकम एंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट हो. ठीक है, इसीलिए इसको हम बोला जाता है ग्रोथ डिफिनेशंस. इनकम एंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट करने के लिए रिसोर्सेज का क्या यूज है, ठीक है, हम किस तरह से रिसोर्सेज को यूज कर रहे हैं ताकि उससे हमको इनकम एंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट मिल रहा है. जॉन मेनार्ड कीन्स considered as father of modern economics. Then come to methods of economic investigations. There are two methods used in economic theory. First is deductive method and then second is inductive method. Inductive method is also known as empirical, abstract, hypothetical and a priori method. In this method, economists are proceed their investigation from general to particular. It proceeds from certain fundamental assumptions and moves to particular conclusion. Here, investigator develops a theory and then examine the fact to see if they follow the theory. Example of the deductive method. You take all the planets revolve around the sun. It is the assumptions, and we have to study one planet like sun. ठीक है. Then we examine the sun, planet. Example, you have to study the Earth. One planet, Earth. We examine and then draw conclusion. Therefore, Earth revolves around the sun. We can take another example. All planet leaves are in green color. Then you have to take one tree like mango and then examine and draw conclusion. Mango leaves are in green color. Then come to inductive method. Inductive method is also known as historical method and posterior methods. In this method, investigators move from particular to general. In this method, facts are generated through the survey. We collect the data and then analyze the data and draw conclusion relevant to the study. Example, you have to study the planets. Then we collect samples like Venus, Earth, Mars. Okay. Then we study Venus revolves around the sun, Earth revolves around the sun, Mars revolves around the sun. Then we draw conclusion. All planets revolve around the sun. Then come to positive and normative economics. Positive economics is completely objective and is limited to cause and effect relationship of economic activities. It's simply concerned with the way that economic relationships are present in different economic activities. Or we can say that it is concerned with the what is. The statement price rise as demand increase, it is related to positive economics because it tells the what is. Then come to normative economics. It is subjective. Normative economics studies the way that economic relationship ought to be, or we can say that normative economics considered with the what ought to be. The statement rising price is a social evil. It is related to normative economics. Then come to economic theory. Economic theory is a theory of commercial activities such as production and consumption of goods. Economic theories try to explain economic phenomena, to interpret why and how economy behaves and what is the best to solution, how to influence or to solve this economic phenomena. The assumptions of economic theory are: first, psychological assumption, behavioral assumptions or rational assumption. In these assumptions, it includes three things. First, the buyers and sellers in each markets are so numerous and independent. All the sellers in each market are price taker, not a price maker. Means all the sellers do not charge high prices. Second, all the market are in equilibrium conditions. Means demand and supplies are equal. Equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity always settles if demand and price changes. And third is, there is perfect knowledge about price both for buyers and sellers. Then second assumption is institutional assumptions. Institutional assumptions relate to social, political and economic institutions. All the assumptions of economic theory are developed on the basis of capitalist economy, where means of production and distributions are privately owned and used for personal gain. Then third assumption is structural assumption. Structural assumptions relate to nature, physical structure or topography of the economy and state of technology. It is further divided into two economy. First, static economy, then second, dynamic economy. In static economy, it is where there movement but not change. And in dynamic economy, it is where there movement along with changes. Then last assumption is ceteris paribus assumptions. Ceteris paribus is a Latin phrase which means other thing being constant. There is many laws in economics based on ceteris paribus assumptions, like law of demand, where we study relationship of quantity demanded and price. Other things are being constant or equal. If we change the price, what is the effect on demand? So it is based on ceteris paribus assumptions. And if we want to see the impact of one input in production, like production of wheat, there are many factors involved in the production, like seed, fertilizer, irrigation, labor, and you have to check the impact of seed and other factors remaining constant or equal. This assumption is used. Then concept of equilibrium. Equilibrium is the condition or state in which economic forces are balanced. When we talk about economic forces, it is demand and supply. Economic equilibrium may also be defined as the point where supply equals demand, where the demand curve and supply curve intersect. That is the point which is known as equilibrium point. There are three types of equilibrium. First is stable equilibrium, second is unstable equilibrium, and third is natural equilibrium. In stable equilibrium, it is the point where economic forces are disturbed and move to another point, but after some times it reversed into original position. So it is known as stable equilibrium. Then come to unstable equilibrium. It is the condition where economic forces are disturbed and it's moved to another point, and it do not revert into original position, and it moves again and again. So it is called unstable equilibrium. Then third, natural equilibrium. In this case, the original position is disturbed and moved to another point. In this case, it doesn't revert into original position and not move to another positions. It stay on that point, and further it's form new equilibrium, so that it is known as नेचुरल इक्विलिब्रियम, क्योंकि वो उस पॉइंट से दूसरी जगह मूव नहीं करता है, वो पहले जहाँ मूव किया था वहीं पे वो स्टे किया रहता है, ठीक है, ना कि वो वहाँ से वो ओरिजिनल पोजीशन पे भी आता नहीं है और दूसरी जगह वो मूव नहीं करता. Then come to economic laws. Economic laws is the principle that govern the actions of the individuals in their economic activity. Just like law of science, economic laws are conditional too. That is, it is applicable where certain conditions are applicable. According to Robbins, economic laws are statement of uniformities which govern human behavior concerning the utilization of limited resources for achieving a unlimited ends. There are 6 characteristics of economic laws. First is, economic laws are not the government laws. If you break the government laws, you would be punished. But in case of economic laws, it doesn't so. Second, economic laws are merely a statement of tendencies. Most of the economic laws are based on tendencies of economic activities. Economic laws are hypotheticals. Economic laws are based on the assumptions. Fourth, economic laws are positive but not normative. As we discussed earlier, positive and normative economics, it tells the what is. Then 5, some economic laws are axiomatic in character, means some economic laws are without any proof. And then 6, economic laws are lack of exactness as the law of science. Most of the laws of science are based on the facts and proofs. but in case of economic laws, it is based on assumptions only. Okay, thank you.